Alright, so I swear to God, I originally had a plan.
That's what they all say.
And the original plan was we were gonna take a break, but it wasn't gonna be last week. It was going to be this week. And then last week happened. So we kind of shuffled some things around. And unfortunately, we are still short a person tonight. But anyways, we'll continue on. The show must go on, as it were.
We will rise from the ashes of missing a person.
Altered Beast, rise from your grave! Anyways, welcome to Under the Bridge. I'm Cody, aka the Scarlet Troll.
And I am Greg.
I was gonna do a joke and I forgot about it. Oh well, I'll get to next week.
I mean, it's understandable. It's been a longish weekend for both of us, so...
Yeah. Anyways, welcome to Countdown to Comic-Con. Which is next weekend, or this upcoming weekend, rather.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. So next week's episode is going to be big, loud, and opinionated, like every episode. But even more so.
There's a JDM car fans versus muscle car fans joke in here, but that would only be funny to me.
Fair enough. But speaking of San Diego Comic-Con, we did get some news in this past week, not this one that just happened, but the week before, about some other Hall H presentations that are happening. One of which being Black Adam.
Oh, I'm sure you were really excited when you heard about that.
Oh yeah, I'm super enthused. Dwayne Johnson's gonna be there, along with all of his JSA co-stars, Pierce Brosnan, Aldous Hodge, Noah Centineo, and Quintessa Swindell, and director... I'm so bad with names. I just looked up how to pronounce this, too. Jaume Collet-Serra, I think is how you pronounce it.
Okay.
I'm bad. I'm so bad at names, and I'm brain dead today. So they're gonna be there, which is... Yeah, alright, whatever. We also know they're gonna have a Hall H panel for Dungeons & Dragons, Honor Among Thieves.
That's right, that is a thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. The film's cast and filmmakers will be on hand to give an exclusive sneak peek at the film. Attendees will receive an exclusive collectible poster. And outside the convention center, they're actually bringing a tavern experience. Visitors will get a 20-minute immersive experience, which includes photo ops, exclusive takeaways like a custom-created print from Boss Logic, and a chance to sip on Dragon Brew, alcoholic and non-alcoholic, and interact with your favorite Dungeons & Dragons creatures and characters.
Do they get to have the realistic experience of rolling a 1 and breaking both of their legs?
God, that would be funny.
That would be pretty great.
My leg!
My legs!
Good times. So yeah, that's something else to look forward to. I have no idea how I'm gonna manage to keep track of all this stuff while I'm at work, but guess I'm just gonna have to get this stuff after the fact and freak out about it on my own time.
Ah, yes. The best kind of freak out. The holy crap, news overload freak out.
Now, it's not confirmed that this one will be at San Diego Comic-Con, but we're probably going to get some news on it, because it turns out Captain America 4 officially has a director.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Julius Ona, best known for directing The Cloverfield Paradox, which I still haven't seen.
Neither have I.
To my understanding, it is not a particularly good movie.
Okay.
However, it also sounds like it's one of those movies where they didn't even decide it was going to be a Cloverfield movie until later in production. So, I feel like you really can't blame the director that much for that, you know?
Right.
Still, Falcon and Winter Soldier was kind of a misstep in a lot of ways, but there was some really good stuff in there, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Sam Wilson's going to do now that he is Cap. The once and future Cap. The true Cap. No Cap.
I hate that you did that just now.
You know, same. I thought about not doing it. And then I thought again. And then I did it anyway. So yeah.
I don't know. I enjoyed Cap and Winter Soldier quite a lot. I do understand like some of the misgivings that were given from it, but I enjoyed it a lot, and I do think that there are some interesting building blocks that were built from there, and I'm curious to see what Captain America 4 does with them, if anything. So definitely. I'm more or less neutral on it at this point.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping that we don't get more Sharon Carter, because that Power Broker reveal was just bad and dumb, and why would you lead them to the guy who makes you the super soldier serum when you're the person selling the super soldier serum, and you could just lead them in circles or to some dummy who gets shot instead? Why would you do this? Why
you do this?
But that's neither here nor there. We got some interesting returning cast announcements for Disney Plus and Marvel's Echo series. And that is, Daredevil and Kingpin are back, baby!
So, are they about to, kind of do what happened when they put the Punisher in the show, in Daredevil, and just have it be where it's, just a constant distraction because people are more interested in these two? Because that's kind of the feeling I got when I saw that.
Yeah. Maybe. Because I don't know, I liked Echo fine in Hawkeye, but it does bug me a little bit that she's so far the only character to get spun off into a thing where her spin-off was announced before we even saw her. So it's it's not even a chance of giving the fans an opportunity to tell you that they want more of this. It's deciding, we're going to go ahead with it anyway. It's I mean, I'm sure that's how it gets done anyway, but it's still a little, I don't know.
Yeah.
Is it bad that the thing that interests me most about this is how are Daredevil and Echo going to talk?
No, because it's a good question. No, it's legitimately a good question. It's like, okay, one person's blind, the other person is deaf.
And
so
mute, I think?
Yeah, and also mute.
Because I don't think she ever actually said anything in the show. It was just sign language.
Yeah, it was sign language the whole time. No, I personally think that that's a good question, and I am curious to see in what either... It feels like one of those things where, depending on what they come up with, it's either going to be ingenious or really stupid with zero gray area whatsoever.
Yeah, is Daredevil's... Do you reckon Daredevil's radar sense is precise enough that he can detect sign language movements?
I was kind of thinking that he's able to sonar ping, lip reading.
But she doesn't talk.
No, she doesn't. But I don't know.
I mean, he can
possible.
hear people's heartbeats, so that's...
Oh, true.
If his hearing is that amplified, but wait, what sense would he use for detecting something? I guess that would be feeling vibrations or something?
Maybe.
Yeah,
it's weird. I have a hard time seeing how this is supposed to work.
Maybe they just won't interact. Maybe it'll be they're both dealing with Kingpin in their own ways, and they don't really stop and have a conversation. It's a 6-episode series, probably, so if some of these last ones are any indication, the pacing's gonna be a little difficult.
Right. Yeah. We'll see what happens. I still maintain that it's either gonna be really cool or really dumb, and not really something that's kind of in the middle. So
I'm just glad that they are basically confirming that Kingpin is not dead. Because, I mean, I think we all knew he wasn't dead, but it's still nice to have that confirmed.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Never saw the body, can't be dead.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump on this list to another bit of casting, only this one is someone who we know won't be in a thing. Obviously, there's been a lot of speculation which character in Wakanda's big sprawling cast will take up the mantle of Black Panther after the passing of Chadwick Boseman. Well, we can now know it won't be W'Kabi, because unfortunately Daniel Kaluuya will not be in Black Panther 2 due to scheduling conflicts with Nope.
He was... Oh, that's right. He was so great.
He was.
Yeah, I enjoyed him being the foil to everyone else.
The guy's yeah, we're mates, as long as you don't fuck up. God help you if you fuck up. Honestly, I think the worst bit is, there are people who genuinely want to see Killmonger come back and be Black Panther. And it's okay.
He's dead.
I don't agree with the decision not to recast T'Challa, but I acknowledge that it was done with the best of intentions, even if it is kind of a bad idea, and I feel like it's really going to shoot this entire franchise in the foot. But I can respect the circumstances and the reasoning behind it. That being said, I do not understand how some people can look at the fact that they decided not to recast the character because of the real-life tragic passing of their actor, and then decided to turn around and say, you know what they should do? They should resurrect the dead bad guy and have him be the villain, and have him be the hero.
Yeah.
It's like, do you guys just not hear how tone-deaf that sounds? Because it's kind of gross.
Yeah. I feel like it would be... I mean, granted, it would have to be a thing where they decide on that before they started filming. I was going to make a connection between, like, Paul Walker's death in the Fast and Furious. Like, no, that doesn't work, because they were, like, halfway done with that movie when he died. So...
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's... I don't get how people can, like, pull Killmonger up as a candidate, because it's like, he is explicitly... Like, he literally killed himself.
I would literally rather Shuri.
Yeah. I still think it's going to be Shuri.
I'd rather Ross. I'd rather they make Black Panther a white guy than have it be Killmonger.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, they should not have it be Ross. Never.
No.
Never. Not only because he's white, but because he's a CIA agent for the USA.
There's no trusting there.
That's some bad optics.
Yeah, that's not great.
Nah. Oh, hey, speaking of Nope, we actually have some more news on that, which is that the amusement park set from Nope will be opening on Universal Studios tour, day and date with the movie.
Wait, is there gonna... I'm sorry, I just want to make sure I understand. Is there going to be, like, a small amusement park thing themed after Nope, or it's literally, like, a portion of the movie set is at Universal?
The set for the amusement park is going to be added to Universal Studio Tour.
Oh, so the amusement park within the movie itself.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, because when I first heard that, it's like, wait, we're doing a Nope amusement park? Man, they're going, like, balls deep into this IP.
Yeah, on the flip side, though, that does suggest that there's something impressive here that they think is... Which I wouldn't have expected. I would not, of all the things to get, like, a amusement park set in a tour, I would not expect Nope right off the bat, especially not day and date with the movie. But hey, that comes out this weekend, so I'm definitely... Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to balance watching Nope and keeping up with San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh god, I forgot that Nope comes out this weekend. I thought it was still a little bit away.
Nope. We're out of time. It's this weekend.
You did not.
Oh, god damn it! To be fair, it's such a common word. But damn it!
You did not just do that to me, Ricky Bobby.
I did put that evil on you. We got some other casting news, and this was actual casting news. Unfortunately, it's more Madam Web casting news.
Okay.
We got Mike Epps and Adam Scott both being added to the cast in undisclosed roles.
Okay.
Mike Epps was in The Hangover 1 and Part 3. He was also in the 2016 TV series remake, boot, revival, whatever, of Uncle Buck.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, that was him.
Okay.
He was Uncle Buck.
Oh, okay. Alright.
And Adam Scott was Ben Wyatt in Parks and Recreation, Adam Yates Jr. in Hot Tub Time Machine 2, Trevor in The Good Place.
Okay. Alright. This sounds like fun.
Yeah, shame it's gonna be Madam Web. It's Madam in time.
It's Madam in time. Again, I'm just curious to see how it goes. I think this series is still going to be one of those ones where I'm just going to kind of peek from the sidelines to see the initial reception before, like, really deciding what I want to do with it.
I'm going to have to go see it. I don't want to go see it, but I have to go see it.
I mean, you don't have to.
It's for content.
Fair.
I can only pull the Minions gag every so often, you know?
That's fair.
There's a limit to how many times I can realistically pull that off. But yeah, no, Madam Web is still set to come out. When is this movie coming out? I know it's next year, but when? July 7th, 2023. Oh dear, we have less than a year until Madam in time.
Huh. Okay.
Well, that's depressing.
It'll be fine. Maybe.
Yeah, probably not. Did you saw Morbius, right? Don't tell me it's gonna be fine.
I mean, look, man, what'll save this movie more than anything else, no matter how bad it is another montage of I almost said of a customer, of an actor dancing to some absolutely ridiculous song about how much sex they have.
Wow, after killing people?
After killing a whole bunch of people.
Oh my god, that happened. I've sat through both Venom movies and Morbius. Don't tell me it's fine. Oh, I liked the first Venom.
I still need to see Venom, too.
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I think I have it on disc now.
Probably.
Anyways, unrelated to superhero movie stuff, I like to call this new segment, Joe Dante is a fucking lunatic.
I don't know who Joe Dante is.
Excellent. He's a director of Gremlins.
Wait, what?
He's a director of Gremlins.
Okay. Why is he a lunatic?
Because he thinks Baby Yoda is a shameless copy of Gizmo.
What?
Yes.
No. What the hell? Hold on. I'm sorry. Not even close.
No, but the exact quote is, to the San Francisco Chronicle, I think the longevity of the films is really key to this one character Gizmo, who's essentially like a baby. Which brings me, of course, to the subject of Baby Yoda, who is completely stolen and is just out-and-out copied. Shamelessly, I would think.
No. What the hell? That's stupid.
I'd like to point out Yoda came out before Gremlins.
Gremlins, yeah. Yeah, so it's like... There's a lot of places I could go with this, but it all comes to the same finish line, which is, this is stupid.
This is a bad take to end all bad takes.
Oh, yeah.
I forget, are they doing anything with Gremlins?
That's a good question,
I have to check on this now. I'm not sure. One moment. Oh god, there's a Gremlins 3 in active development, apparently.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no, please, no.
No.
I don't want it. I don't want it.
I think the only thing I remember about Gremlins, like, growing up is the toys. Because even though my sister was born, like, 2 years after the movie came out, I do remember she had at least one Gremlins toy growing up, and I was not fond of it.
You know, in my brain, there's some inexorable link between Gremlins and Furbies.
No, that tracks. No, I 100% can see that.
Yep. I don't know what it is. It's just, I see a gremlin and I think, that's a Furby. Anyways, yeah, bad take. 100%. Just, what are you even? Can you math? Do you know how to math?
Right.
We'll move on from that, though. We got some Disney live-action remake news.
Okay.
Which is, the Lilo and Stitch live-action pick has Dean Fleischer Camp directing, the director of Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, A24's most recent thing, which got a limited release and I haven't been able to see yet, so I'm disappointed about that. It looks charming.
Oh, is there like something out for it, like a trailer or anything?
Yeah, there's been trailers. Like, it's out.
Oh, how have I missed this whole time?
Because it's been a very limited release.
Oh, yeah, honestly, I found out about it reading the list of stuff you sent me, and it's like, what? So, I mean, granted, yes, limited release, I understand that, but I am just genuinely shocked that this never even came across my radar, because I loved Lilo and Stitch growing up.
Oh, no, I was talking about Marcel the Shell with Shoes.
Oh, okay.
Lilo and Stitch just got its director. How would it already be released? I just said this.
That's fair. Okay, then in that case, ignoring what I just said, why is there a live action Lilo and Stitch?
Because Disney likes money and hates ideas.
It's like, a lot of the previous live action movies I've been kind of able to, like, either, like, ignore or forgive. Because it's like, okay, In some capacity, these movies are supposed to be like how the animated movies were for us when we were growing up. That I understand. I'm also able to give forgiveness for things that take those original concepts but do something with them. The Cruella movie comes to mind. Dalmatians killed my mom.
Dalmatians killed me, mom. I can't even with this shit.
I still love, like, complete apropos of nothing, but I still love how when we went to see it, the two of us just have completely opposite reactions. I'm in my chair going, oh my god, and you're just losing it next to me.
It was fucking funny. It was so funny. This Dalmatian just comes jumping at her and, like, just fucking Sparta kicks her off a balcony and she goes tumbling off a cliff.
It's like, I just sees the Dalmatian, like, just body this woman. It's like, oh, and you're just, like, literally, like, trying your damnedest not to break out into loud laughter in this packed movie theater.
I was failing very badly at it. Huh.
But yeah.
No, Lilo and Stitch, terrible idea. There's no way to make Stitch look
decent
and not creepy and not awful. I don't know, though. I guess we'll see. And then the final bit of news I got before we move on to other stuff is Martin Lawrence is confident that we're going to have at least one more Bad Boys movie.
Why? The last one was honestly a pretty solid ending on the franchise. So I don't see the need to make another one.
Well, they were already working on it when Bad Boys for Life was rolling through the box office 2 years ago. But there was some concern that after the whole Will Smith Oscars incident, Sony was going to pull the plug on it. But Martin Lawrence has said, we got one more at least. So,
okay.
Yeah. I still can't believe that was my best movie of January 2020.
It was a good movie, though.
Yeah, I mean, but like...
Well, wait, what else came out that month?
Nothing, that's why it won.
Oh, I mean, still...
Like, don't get me wrong, it was a decent movie, but it's also not the kind of movie where I would expect it to be on my best movie of any time frame list. Maybe best movie of that week.
Right.
January movies, they suck.
Typically, yeah.
Oh boy. I'm gonna have to rewatch that movie now. I tried watching the first Bad Boys, couldn't do it. Never bothered to watch the second.
Yeah, the first Bad Boys I honestly don't remember a lot of. The second one was honestly, I remember watching that on Spike TV a lot. Because it was always aired on Spike, like, at least a 2-3 times a month. But, of course, since it was on TV, they cut out a lot of the not great moments in it. Like, pretty hard.
Yeah, I bet.
Mm-hmm.
All I really remember from the latest one is just them driving down the beach and, like, almost killing people just so Martin Lawrence could go see his grandkids be born.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I remember that, not just because of how abhorrent the driving was, but also because of the car. Because it was a very nice Porsche 911 Carrera, which, you know, that's just kind of how my brain works.
Wait, what was that part about, like, being in a MAGA guy's basement or something?
Oh, yeah. I think
I have that line right?
No, but I remember, like, I think they were, like, stole somebody's, like, trike, like, motorized
yeah,
trike.
And there was a fucking, what was it, a big old minigun in the
yeah,
sidecar?
There was a minigun, I think there was, like, an RPG or something, and it was something along the lines of, if I remember right, it was something along the lines of, I am in, like, some, like, white supremacist closet or something, is what it feels like having all these guns here. Or something just equally nutso.
I remember that, and I remember, this is my wife's car. That's about
I remember that. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Huh. Yeah, no, I am really struggling to remember anything else.
Well, I guess that means that at some point, Bad Boys for Life needs to be added to the movie list.
Yeah, sure.
You are not looking forward to that.
Could be worse.
Fair.
So I guess that wraps up news, which means since we're not doing gaming this week because we are short one Mr. Agent Duckman, it's trailer time!
It's trailer time.
And we're starting off with 2 Harley Quinn trailers. Because we got both the official trailer and the Red Band trailer in the span of a week.
Yep. I don't know, it's one of those things where I don't want to say because it's anything but. It makes me want to watch the new season, but at the same time, it's one of those things where if you've watched the first 2 seasons of Harley Quinn, there's not really anything super new here.
There's definitely something new in Ivy having actual big plans.
Yeah. With the whole big plans thing, there was one part that did catch my attention was when they go, how is an Ivy plan even worse than a Harley Quinn plan? And I'm like, you know what?
That's an excellent question.
That is an excellent question. You have my complete and undivided attention now.
I wonder if it's because Ivy's usually just like, yeah, I'm doing this stuff like killing CEOs of companies that are knowingly polluting the environment or whatever. But terraforming the entire city and reclaiming the whole thing from humans is a big step for her. And I wonder if it's because of Harley encouraging more spontaneity and going crazy and aiming bigger. Because that would tie in Harley not necessarily being the best influence of anything.
Yeah, especially since, at least in the first 2 seasons, Ivy's role, at least I felt like, was supposed to be more of the straight man of the whole group.
Yeah.
So, it'll be interesting to see how that dynamic works out.
Who knows? Looks like we're getting Swamp Thing. Or maybe that's Floronic Man. I don't know. Hard to tell. All I know is it's not Man-Thing, giant size or otherwise.
Fair. There was one joke that completely flew over my head. I was wondering if you could give insight into it. What was the whole thing of Harley talking about Ben Affleck's duck collection or something like that?
What? I remember her saying she upper decked his soda stream, and
That's it. That's the one I'm thinking of.
Hold on a second. I'm gonna Google this, and I'm probably gonna regret it.
Yeah, you know what?
Oh no.
What is that? That sounds... hold on, I'm Googling it too, so I kind of want to see. Oh, no! This man is a maniac! This man has a home office soda machine that has both Diet Coke and Diet Pepsi.
Oh, wait, you just looked up the soda stream part?
Well, this Ben Affleck soda machine is just all I searched up. Why is there more?
Oh, you didn't look up upper decking?
No.
Look it up. I'm not explaining it here. Everybody just gets to listen to our incredulous reactions.
Is upper decking an Urban Dictionary type thing?
Yeah, just Google upper decking. Oh boy, this is a long way to go for a short trip of life.
Dude, what the hell?
Yeah, like I said, I'm not explaining it here. Everybody else, if you don't know, have fun.
Oh my god.
I can't believe you had that exaggerated over-the-top reaction to a goddamn soda stream. What the hell?
No, I mean, that is something like that, even though I'm neutral to both of them. It's if you're gonna have both of those in the same machine, then yeah, you are kind of a maniac. Let's be real.
Jesus Christ.
How may I help you, my child?
No, shut up. We also got our first look at Nightwing, so that was neat. I like how he's kind of a tryhard.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, especially the whole part of him,
I think
having a
serious.
I did actually go oh my god, ladies, you're both pretty. And I forget what Harley said at the end, but it was yeah, no, that's what I'm thinking right now.
I think it was seriously just fucking kill me already.
Yeah. I kind of was in agreement with that.
So I wonder if, because it looks like Bane survived, obviously. You think he's gonna try to join them?
I feel like they've been kind of trying to set up for that in some capacity, just because of how Bane has always been the punching bag for this whole time.
Yeah.
So,
but
I
also
wouldn't be
not
surprised.
really meaning any harm by any of it.
Yeah. So, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the angle that they try for.
Also, Joker running for mayor.
Is that something that ever happens in the comics?
I don't think so.
Because it feels like something straight out of the comics, in all honesty.
I feel like that could only happen in the Silver Age, because any other time they would bring up Joker, probably isn't eligible for office due to being a wanted felon or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can't imagine a comic where Joker actually did this, but you know what?
I mean, anything is possible.
I mean, Lex Luthor was president for a while.
Well, so that's kind of part of where I got that idea from, is because I remember the whole thing of Lex Luthor running for president, but it is a thing of probably just one of those made up things that formed in my head, but it was a thing of when I saw it, I was like, this feels like something, not actually the Lex Luthor thing, this just feels like something that would happen standalone in the comics at some point.
Yeah, not as far as I can tell, which kind of tracks because, like I said, I mean, Lex Luthor running for president is one thing. Lex has power and influence and is kind of a mastermind. He's called the Joker. Would you vote for a guy who calls himself the Joker? Don't answer that. I might.
Although when they said it's like Commissioner Gordon was his opponent, it's like, oh, Joker's gonna become the fucking mayor, isn't he?
Yeah, probably. Probably. But anyways, this looks interesting. Looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah. Alright, and next we had Bodies, Bodies, Bodies.
This does not feel like an A24 movie.
Okay, I'm glad I'm not alone on that, because when I was watching this trailer, I thought to myself, this is the most, normal-looking A24 movie I've ever seen.
It almost feels Blumhouse.
Yeah, it's... A24, at least from, just the things I've seen of them, they tend to go, a more, abstract and artsy style with a lot of their big movies, and there's definitely a little bit of that present here, but in a certain way, I don't feel like it's gonna be bad, but it doesn't feel like an A24 movie. It does kind of feel like in a certain degree, a run-of-the-mill horror comedy type of movie, with nothing to really set it apart, but maybe. We'll see.
I'm exercising caution, or whatever it is she says. You call that exercising caution? It looks like you're getting a meat cleaver while going to look for my boyfriend.
I mean, otherwise, I definitely don't do straight horror, but I kind of dig this movie a little bit, so I'm interested enough in it to see, to maybe not see it, opening night, but I think I would want to see it at some point.
Yeah, I'm not sure what... I feel like this is probably more of a comedy thriller? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
I'm always kind of blurry on where some killer with a knife fits into the horror spectrum. Because it's that's pretty terrifying, but it also feels kind of low key.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It doesn't look bad, but it doesn't have the same pull that A24 stuff normally does.
No, definitely not. I was very surprised to find out this was them. Because it feels normal.
Yeah, like I said, this is the most normal looking A24 movie trailer I've ever seen in my life.
It's missing that je ne sais quoi.
Yeah, the je ne sais quoi with a little bit sprinkling of being on shrooms during the editing process.
I'm not sure how I feel about the cut of its jib. Still, yeah, I'll definitely go check it out. I mean, it's A24, and there aren't many A24 movies I've seen that I didn't like, so...
Right.
Or this could just be a general expansion of their brand, which was bound to happen eventually, so...
Oh, yeah, no.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I guess we can move right into Spin Me Around with Alison Brie and Aubrey Plaza.
So, the only reason I want to even see any of this movie, because I'm really not interested in it, is Aubrey Plaza.
Okay, full disclosure, that's why I added the trailer.
Aubrey Plaza, for me, is just this weird, awkwardly adorable, person.
She's amazing.
She's great. Otherwise, I have, zero interest in this movie.
I think the mystery is decently engaging enough. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's just that the guy's a fucking murderer or whatever, but...
Yeah, or a huge perv or something.
It's hard to tell.
Mm-hmm.
It's genuinely kind of hard to tell. Especially because she's playing because you got Aubrey Plaza there as, like, the sardonic eye-rolling assistant who seems to know what's going on, but is just like, man, whatever.
During the bit where all of them were in the room meeting the CEO, the way that the camera, like, just focuses on the main character, and then the guy just starts, like, leaning forward, actually did give me major creep vibes.
Yeah. Creep is
like,
in the
ooh.
personality type, or creep is in the movie Creep?
Personality type.
Good.
Yeah.
Nothing should ever give creep vibes. Now, Creep
No,
2, that's another story.
Yeah, like, I don't know. The mystery stuff does seem kind of interesting, but the way that kind of the rom-com or romance, like, angle is presented, it feels very, for lack of a better descriptor, early 2000s.
Yeah.
And that portion of it is what kills my interest in the actual, like, murder thriller portion of it, unfortunately.
There was a little too much focus on that, I think. I can understand wanting to set up that vibe to create a more unnerving sense of things once you start peeling back the layers and unraveling the mystery. But there's a little too much focus on something that feels a little too dated. So,
yeah.
We'll see, I suppose.
So. Oh, yeah.
Should we move on to fall?
Yes, or as I like to call it, every bad decision you could think of, the movie.
Are they still handing out Darwin Awards? Because I feel like this is the kind of thing that gets you a Darwin Award.
Yeah, it was a thing of, like... It was a thing of, like, when she's like, hey, I want to climb up this huge abandoned TV tower, and the girl's like, I don't know, I'm still, like, recoiling over, like, my husband, I am assuming it was her husband, dying on a mountain. It's like, yes, that is completely freaking reasonable. Where it's like, hey, your best friend is like, hey, I know you just had this traumatic experience and you lost someone you really deeply love. So why don't we fix that by reliving the traumatic experience?
Yeah, you start with small shit.
Yeah.
You don't get over your fear of heights by climbing a mountain.
No.
You get over it by getting up on a step stool.
Yeah, like, I'm sorry, this is just dumb.
I can't wait to see them both die. I
They
hope
won't.
they do.
They won't.
One of them has to.
That would be too easy, and it would make too much sense for both of them
It's
to die.
going to be the dumbass friend. You know it.
No, I would put my money on the main character, and the dumbass friend, like, with her friend dying, is like, I've seen the error of my ways and realized why this is stupid. It's like, you didn't realize this is stupid on the ground?
No. It's gonna be the best friend bites it, and the main character finds the will to, like, climb and survive, or whatever the hell. Or maybe they both kick it. Who knows? One can dream.
I'm thinking either both of them survive, or the lead actress is the one who kicks it. This is a really, like, dark and callous discussion we're having right now, isn't it?
Stupid is as stupid does.
That's fair. No, it just looks stupid.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, as you like to say.
Exactly.
I'm still gonna watch it, though.
I'm not. I will definitely, like, be curious to see what you think of it.
Oh, it's gonna be. I'm gonna need the fine point pen for this one. Gonna need a lot of space to take notes. Gotta get that college rule paper.
Oh yes.
So I guess we gotta talk about the Munsters.
This looks very fun. I still refuse to believe that this is going to be a PG-rated movie.
It's funny to me. I never saw much of the Munsters, so I don't feel like there's any tonal problem with it.
Yeah.
But it looks cheap.
It kind of does, but I have the way in how it looks cheap, I think it's one of those things where it is a conscious decision for the general art style of what they're going for, if that makes sense.
No, see, I can kind of get that, but I feel like, okay, WandaVision, right? That's a throwback. That's a throwback to a bunch of old shows. But all their special effects are period appropriate, and it doesn't feel cheap. It feels authentic.
Yeah, especially during the moments where those period effects get broken or shaken because of what's going on.
Yeah, when the effects fall away and you get back into the stuff you're more familiar with seeing, it just adds to how effective this framing is.
Yeah.
This doesn't feel period authentic. it feels cheap for the 20... It feels like it's being filmed like a 2020s thing, but cheaply.
Hmm.
And that's my big thing with it. Otherwise, it's like, yeah, it's not especially funny, but I mean, the little bit I've seen of the Munsters, I didn't think it was all that funny either, so...
Yeah, I don't think this movie will be funny, but I think it'll be enjoyable. Like, it definitely seems like it's going to be something where it's more, this is a let's have a good time type of movie, more than anything else.
Which in a comedy is, because, I mean, they're making jokes. They're making tons of jokes.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it's easier to have a good time in a comedy when the jokes are funny. Nothing sours my mood like bad comedy.
Hmm.
One Christmas, I went to go see, what was it called? What's that one where it was Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell was the stepdad and Mark Wahlberg was the actual... Daddy's Home, that's it!
Yeah, Daddy's Home.
There is no feeling quite as miserable as sitting in a theater full of people watching a comedy film and everybody is laughing except you. Because none of the jokes are hitting, it's all just stupid and just, it's this kind of things you've seen 1,000 times before, and even the slapstick isn't funny because it's not consistent, and you're just sitting there like, why is everybody else... What?
When you said Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell, I was
other
like,
guys.
oh, I hope... Yeah, I was like, oh, I hope you're not going to talk smack about the other guys.
No, the other guys is magnificent. The other guys is the whole reason I saw Daddy's Home. I was like, oh, Mark Wahlberg, Will Ferrell, that's a winning combination. Not here, it's not.
No. I mean, I kind of definitely agree to that. There wasn't any particular moment that really, like, jumped out at me as being, like, really funny or whatnot. I mean, granted, the whole reason I say that I refuse to believe this movie is PG is because it is a Rob Zombie movie.
Well,
but...
Prepare to get Shrek'd, I suppose.
Oh, no, I mean, I am. It's just one of those things where it's like, for all the other, like, works I've seen him do, it's one of those, like, okay, so what's the equivalent of the one F-bomb in a PG-13 movie that this man is going to try and enact?
It's like, come on, where is it? It's somewhere. I know it's somewhere. Give it to me.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, otherwise, like I said, it looks like fun. I probably, again, I don't know about, like, opening weekend, but it's definitely a movie I would like to see in theaters.
Yeah, I'll give it a watch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not looking forward to the aesthetic of it.
No, that's fair.
So I guess we're good for box office, then?
Yeah.
Alright. So, at the top of this weekend's box office, we've got Thor, the fourth one.
Okay, sure.
It has made $46.6 million domestically in its second weekend for a $233.9 million domestic total and $499.8 million worldwide, so it's fast approaching that $500 million. It has a $250 million production budget.
Really?
This is one of the most expensive Marvel movies that they've made.
And it's not turning a profit yet?
Oh no, it's, I think, turning a profit, because I think its production budget was confirmed to be, or its marketing budget, rather, was confirmed to be $100 million. So,
okay.
It's turning money, and it's going to keep presumably making money, but it's hard to wrap my head around this being one of the more expensive ones, but I guess we'll get into that later.
Mm-hmm.
Second place, Minions: The Rise of Gru, $26.8 million domestic weekend, $263.4 million domestic total, and $534.2 million worldwide against an $80 million budget. So, that's raking in the money.
Mm-hmm.
Third place, Where the Crawdads Sing. It looks like this one is only released domestically because the numbers I've got are that it's got a $17.2 million total. Because it just came out this weekend, and that's also including worldwide, because I guess it didn't release worldwide.
Okay. Does it any news on, like, what its budget was?
$24 million. So...
Oh!
Yeah. It might have some legs, we'll see.
Yeah.
Fourth place, and I cannot believe this movie is still in the top. I mean, I guess I can, but I still kind of can't. Top Gun Maverick.
Okay. Alright. This is, again, love this movie to bits. I loved every second of it, but it's like, it's kind of like the friend who refuses to go home and is still drunk. It's like, nah, I still got something in me. It's like everyone's trying to shove them out. as like Thor, Love and Thunder and whatnot are trying to shut them out. I was like, no, it's our turn. They're like, make me go.
Yeah, it took in $12.2 million domestically this weekend for a $618.2 million domestic total and a $1.2 billion worldwide total. It is now Paramount's highest grossing film and has surpassed Titanic.
Which is something.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that that title has been taken by a movie that's actually good.
You know, I've still never seen Titanic, so I can't really weigh in, but...
I saw Titanic once years ago, and I hated every second of it.
Fair enough. I'm gonna have to watch it at some point.
But granted, it's also been years since I've seen it, so I don't know, maybe, like, if I watch it again, I would not have as harsh opinion. But I remember, like, hating watching it.
And then in fifth place, we got Elvis at $8 million domestic for a $106.6 million domestic total and $186.4 million worldwide. Its budget was $85 million reportedly, so it sounds like it's making a little bit of money at least.
Yeah, it's made a tiny bit of money.
That's assuming the 2 times its production budget for marketing. Could be smaller. We'll see. I still have to see that at some point, and I'd like to. It's so hard to psych myself up to see an almost 3-hour movie about Elvis.
From what I've seen about the movie, the 2 main things that always get talked about, is that, I forget the actor who plays Elvis.
Austin Butler.
Austin Butler. Apparently the general consensus is Austin Butler does an amazing job and carries this movie, like, all the way, but this movie does not need to be 3 hours long. Like, those are basically the 2 main pieces of feedback that I've been seeing about it.
Yeah, same, and that's part of what makes it so difficult. Speaking of difficult, should we start talking about the movie we saw last weekend?
Yes.
Alright, we're gonna start with non-spoilers for Thor, Love and Thunder. Short answer, I hated this movie.
Short answer for me, I did not hate this movie, but I definitely didn't like it.
This is, for me, easily the worst MCU movie since Phase 3 started. It's, I think, actually the worst Thor movie, potentially the worst or the worst MCU movie we've had. This is the first one where sitting in the theater, I was not having a good time. Even Ragnarok, and I hate Ragnarok. You know what I think about that movie. It's my least favorite movie that I still quote incessantly and is still actually really well made. There's just some things about it tonally and structurally that I cannot stand that kind of wrecked the whole thing for me. But Love and Thunder is a fucking mess.
Yeah, so the big thing for me in this movie is that, because I remember you mentioning that this movie had already been cut down quite significantly when they made the final product, but there was still way too many times where I thought, like, okay, why do we have time for this? Why is this happening? If they got rid of this, it would not have hurt anything in the movie otherwise. Like, there were a lot of moments like that for me, and that took away from the overall experience. Especially, I know that you've mentioned before how much you hate, like, slapstick Thor, but there were definitely a few times where it's like, okay, no, this is actually, like, a bit too much. And I feel bad to an extent because, from what I understand, Chris Hemsworth actually really enjoys that.
Yeah, no, he likes this new direction for Thor, which, good for him, I guess, but...
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like you can see that he's having a genuinely, like, very good time. And honestly, it's great to see that, because Chris Hemsworth is a cool dude. But there were just way too many times where it's just like, no, this is dumb. This doesn't need to be happening. And it became especially annoying because when we had the more serious moments, it genuinely felt like a breath of fresh air that did not last nearly long enough.
Yeah. This is a 2-hour movie that feels like it could have been an hour and a half.
This easily could have been a 90-minute film, and it would have been probably the same, if not a tiny, tiny bit worse, but for me, a negligible amount worse. Yeah, I don't know. I think this is one of the very few times where we both agree in a general sense on a Marvel movie.
Yeah, this is wacky.
This is really weird.
Usually, and I wouldn't even say in a Marvel movie, I'd say usually, if I dislike a movie, there's usually some dissension somewhere.
Yeah.
Either because you liked it, or because we dislike it for different reasons. And I mean, in this case, it's still to different extents. Like, I kind of fucking despise this one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if Taika Waititi does not come back for Thor 5, nothing of value will be lost to me.
Yeah, for me, it's a thing of like, and it's really weird for me, especially because I am incredibly easy to entertain. Like I still even though it is an objectively horrible movie, I still really liked The Rise of Skywalker because
Dear
it basically,
God.
no, for the single reason that it killed any expectations I had in the first 10 seconds.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, it's like, okay,
Palpatine's back!
Yeah, it's like, so I'm like coming to this movie, it's like, alright, we're gonna get a whole thing about like how Palpatine came back and what happened. Opening crawl. Palpatine has returned. I'm like, alright.
Starting out at 0, alright.
Yeah, and it's like, you know what? I have zero expectations for this movie, so I can now have a good time with this movie. I was able to just take all the stupidity in like jest because of that. But there was really not much of that for me here. Because it is a thing of like, okay, so we're coming off of, granted, I don't really remember a lot of Ragnarok, but we're coming off of Ragnarok and anything that's happened in between like Loki and part 2 of Infinity War and all that. So there's a lot of that carrying over. And it just doesn't hit the ground running at all. It kind of feels like it's hit the ground and just face planted immediately and just refused to get off the floor.
Yeah, it's amazing to me that when this movie first got announced in 2019, my expectations were already low because I didn't much care for Ragnarok, but it was like, okay, they had their shot at Ragnarok, the actual Norse god apocalypse, and they fucked that up. So, like, this can only go up, I think.
Yeah.
My big concern at the time was Natalie Portman coming back and playing Jane Foster as Thor, because Jane Foster as Thor was a terrible arc in the comics, and Natalie Portman was not great in the first 2 Thor movies, especially not the second one. So it was a case of, this feels like the weak link. Turns out, she's the best part of the fucking movie. And not even because everything else sucks, although it kind of does. It's because she's genuinely good.
Yeah. No, like, her whole thing in the movie, like, how she is, it's like, she's enjoyable just because it's like, the stakes are a bit higher for her, and it shows in her character.
And it's like, it's the kind of thing where it feels more natural in the moments where she's goofy, because Thor's had, 1,500 years to develop his whole personality, and this goofster thing has only been a thing for the last, 8?
Yeah, 8 or so.
So it feels weird coming from him, especially because half the things he does sound like they're Earth references, just tweaked for Asgard, and it's like, this is not the right... Even if we wanted a more humorous Thor, this isn't the right style. But for Jane, it works because she's a formerly normal person who is now a superhero herself, so when she does stuff like trying out a bunch of new catchphrases that are all awful, it's like, you know what? I would do that.
Yeah, you are living a normal life, just like any other person, and it's like, I have superpowers. It's like, I am literally like, I just became like Avenger level powerful overnight. Holy crap, what do I do?
No, that part feels good. I actually appreciate the explanation for why she's able to wield the hammer and how the hammer is back. We'll get into that later in spoilers. Other than that, the only other part that I thought was really good was Christian Bale, and he was well underutilized for this.
Oh, yes. And also, I guess the last thing for me, I guess, before we get into spoilers section, is that this is, I think, one of the very few times where I genuinely became annoyed with the presence of Guns N' Roses. Because I like Guns N' Roses.
The music in this is so obnoxious.
Yeah. I genuinely like Guns N' Roses. I haven't listened to a lot of their music, but it's like, no, like, none of this fits. It just seems like it's there to fillet Thor for no other reason. I don't feel like, especially because they used the overplayed songs like Paradise City and Welcome to the Jungle. Yeah, when they used Welcome to the Jungle, I did think it's like, why?
And they started with that. That's the first song in the movie.
Yeah.
God damn it.
And it added nothing, in my opinion.
The closest you got to a sleeper hit was November Rain. And that's nowhere close. It's just not Paradise City. I hate this movie so much. This doesn't even feel like a movie. It feels like a bunch of music. It feels like a bunch of, like, AMVs.
Yeah!
And movie posters.
Like,
all the shots that aren't fights feel like movie posters. And all the actual fight scenes or all the bits with Guns N' Roses, it just feels like somebody submitted it to, like, an anime convention AMV contest. Here's my Thor Love and Thunder entry. It's so... God, these movies are just worse Guardians of the Galaxy in every conceivable way. And it's so baffling to me that in this worst Guardians movie, the Guardians are barely in it, despite actually being in it. But, God, like, the humor is worse. They don't know when to let the humor sit. Like, does Guardians have stupid jokes? Yes, absolutely. Do the jokes go too far and too long sometimes? Yes, 100%. But when James Gunn wants to let a moment stick, that moment is gonna fucking stick. Yondu's funeral makes me cry every goddamn time. And every single line that could conceivably even be taken as a joke does not break the mood because it is based in these characters and how they operate. Whereas the Thor movies, all the fucking ghost mood-breaking humor just feels like it's fucking... Oh, this would be funny, wouldn't it? Does it work for the character? Who gives a fuck? And the music, it's like, it's also Guardians Light because it's just like, hey, let's just use popular songs, only instead of trying to dive into a well and find something that fits the mood, let's just do stuff that just fits the...
Yeah.
Vaguely fits in terms of lyrics, like, oh, Thor's getting into a fight, welcome to the jungle time. Oh, we're going to New Asgard, Paradise City. Well, he's running fights with the sweet child of mine. I don't fucking know. God,
You know, I didn't think about that angle when you mention it, because it is a thing of, as far as, like, when the Marvel movies have licensed music, Guardians of the Galaxy is the one that always blows it out of the park for me. Not including the ones where, like, the people who make the movie collaborate with studios, like what would happen with, like, Black Panther and Kendrick Lamar and Shang-Chi and 88 Rising. So to have Guns N' Roses just be there during the Guardians scene is like, no, that is actually kind of a letdown. Because usually the music choice, and especially the tone of the music choice, is a lot better than that.
Yeah, this was terrible. Ugh. Should we go into spoilers?
Yeah, as I say, and we haven't even gotten to the worst parts, because we've got spoilers, ladies and gentlemen. And for me, personally, if I may start...
Yeah, go for it.
The thing that I hated the most, if anything, at least the first thing that came to my mind, is the whole thing of Stormbreaker being sentient and how they use that. Because instead of it... Because it's like, this... I'm thinking this like... This should be a really big deal. Like, if this thing is actually sentient, this opens so many doors and so many possibilities. And how they use that is making it where Stormbreaker gets jealous of Mjolnir.
No, see,
like, legitimately.
See, I can almost wrap my head around Stormbreaker being sentient because it's made of Groot wood, and also Thor planted it into the ground at the start of Love and Thunder, so maybe that did it. And maybe that explains why it wasn't demonstrably sentient in Infinity War or Endgame, because he hadn't planted it yet, ergo it was just a piece of dead Groot wood. But within the confines of this movie, they clearly just did that so they don't have Stormbreaker's Bifrost summoning capabilities as a quick teleportation thing, which is why they gotta take the boat. But it's so baffling to me, because if Stormbreaker is sentient now, how come when Gore grabs it, it doesn't just immediately go, "Oi, you ain't the guy! Piss off, bro!" Why does it still let him use it?
So, what was actually kind of funny about that whole angle as well for me internally is that when they first try to show it, during the whole scene where, like, Thor's in Town Hall and trying to call Mjolnir, when Stormbreaker comes up, in my brain I'm thinking, oh... So, he's just completely tied to Stormbreaker now, so Stormbreaker responds instead, and then he starts talking to him, like, why the fuck is he talking to Stormbreaker? And then later it's like, oh, this is bad.
And the even dumber part is, like I said, ostensibly they did this because they wanted to tamper down Stormbreaker's go anywhere in the universe whenever they want capabilities, because then you don't have much of an adventure movie if you could just go wherever, whenever. And then they proceed to introduce two other things with the exact same abilities, because they bring in the Thunderbolt, and Thor uses that to teleport, and they establish Valkyrie's horse can apparently teleport to anywhere in the fucking universe. So congratulations, you solved the problem by making the problem worse. It's so fucking dumb.
Yeah.
If Valkyrie already knows about the whole eternity thing, why did they never check it out during the 5-year time skip? That seems like it would have been a really good way to bring back half the universe who's fucking dead.
Yeah. That's a good question. I didn't think about that.
They may not have known that the Bifrost was the key, but you'd think if they blipped, because apparently they know where it is, so you'd think once they pop in and they see that the symbol on the door is the fucking Bifrost symbol, they might think, oh, let's give this a go.
Yeah. Let's see, what else was there?
For most of the movie, Gore and Thor have the exact same on-screen god kill count of 1.
Of 1. Yeah. Which kind of goes into my thoughts on Christian Bale, because when we got out of the movie, I went on Reddit and a couple other places to see what people were talking about, and by far the biggest criticism was the whole thing of, like, for someone named Gore the God Killer, man's not really killing a lot of gods on screen.
Nah, he kills 1 at the start, and that's all we get, which, I get it, like, adaptations and what have you, they change and they mix stuff up, and so maybe you can only get away with showing so much god butchery in a PG-13 movie, but you know how you fix that? You don't call him the God Butcher!
And it was really weird on that angle, because when they kill the first god, he literally bleeds gold. And it's like, okay, that's still uncomfortable, but that is definitely a good way around, like, not having the rating being too high if you want to show killings but not make it inappropriate or anything like that, and more easier to digest. And it's like, oh, and that's the only time we see that. Cool.
Heimdall has a son.
Yeah.
A wife and a son, and we've never heard about or seen either of them before.
Which is, I kind of had mixed things on that, because on one hand, yes, it's very stupid. It's especially stupid that there's no explanation of that, but I did actually enjoy Heimdall's son a bit.
He's alright, except for the part where they use him to just tie into the weird Guns N' Roses obsession more.
Mm-hmm.
Because they explicitly name drop that he's calling himself Axel after Axl Rose, and what is this fucking love affair with Guns N' Roses? For fuck's sake, pick another band.
Because it's retro 80s themed, and for some godforsaken reason, again, even though I like Guns N' Roses apparently defines 80s rock for a lot of people.
Kaiju Big Battle used Rainbow in the Dark better than this movie.
You know what? I am now actually a little bit sad that I missed that. Just for that comment.
Yeah, no, they used it for, like, Double Unicorn Dark's entrance song at Kaiju Big Battle, which is better than just playing it over the end credits like they did for fucking Love and Thunder.
And by the way, if anyone is confused about this segue, once you finish listening to this podcast, go YouTube search Kaiju Big Battle. You will not regret it.
No, absolutely not. Battle is spelled B-A-T-T-E-L, though, so be prepared.
Yes.
God, this movie is so frustrating. Why? So Jane has cancer, and apparently Mjolnir, every time she picks it up, it makes her cancer worse because it's purging the chemotherapy, which is a thing in the comics and it doesn't bother me. But why then did Mjolnir call out to her? Because Thor said to protect her, and it's literally killing her.
So that part did bother me, the whole thing of it getting rid of her chemo, because it's one of those things where it's like, I feel like that's something that should have gotten more establishment or notice before we passed the point of no return. That was kind of like my thought process when that whole part got revealed in the movie. It's like, I feel like this is something that should have been, like, at least hinted at beforehand. It kind of felt like it came out of nowhere in the movie.
Yeah, there's a decent explanation in the comics. How it works is that apparently when Mjolnir transforms its holder, it purges all poisons from their body. And
Oh.
the magic recognizes that chemo is a poison, but it doesn't recognize the cancer because it's technically part of Jane.
Okay, you know what? That's actually pretty neat.
Yeah, what bothers me is the fact that Mjolnir is expressly supposed to be protecting her in this continuity, so why does it keep calling her knowing that it's killing her? And, hell, if we assume Mjolnir doesn't know that's happening, why does it do it once they find out? You'd think that would alter the details a little bit. This movie with its sentient weapon bullshit is just... God, Korg is insufferable! I'm so fucking sick of him! And by extension, Taika Waititi!
When they do the whole thing of, like, destroying Korg, it's like, oh my god, that's a high-stakes kill. Wait, no, it's Taika Waititi.
For 5 seconds, I was in pure bliss. I thought he was fucking dead. And not only did they not kill him, they took out any reason for him to be in the movie because he's no longer able to serve as muscle since he's just a face. And then they keep him around anyway. What the fuck? He's literally just there to make stupid, unfunny jokes.
So I don't dislike Taika Waititi, mostly just because there's a couple things that he's made that I still, like, very heavily enjoy, Jojo Rabbit's being one of them. But it was kind of a thing of when that part happened, it's like, okay, I like you, man, but there is actually no reason for you to still be here. This is kind of dumb now.
This movie had, like, 7 screaming goat jokes in it.
So I got tired of the goats almost immediately, except for the portion where they crash into the moon.
That was good.
That was the only part of the goats where I'm like, okay, I like that. That was very funny.
But it wasn't funny the first time, and then they just kept it going, and it's so fucking dated.
Yeah.
It's such a... And the even weirder thing is, apparently, what happened was, one of the effects companies did a shot of the goats adding the goat screaming remix theme, or meme, and Waititi thought it was hilarious, so he just added the whole thing in. It's like, bro, this meme's fucking 10 years old! What the hell?
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
Gore's whole shtick is the gods don't care about people, so he kidnaps a bunch of people that the gods care about to get them to cooperate. What the fuck is that?
That was really the only, like, major foil in Gore's, like, portrayal in the movie. Because I don't really have anything more to add to that, but I do want to say that Christian Bale as Gore was definitely my favorite part of the whole movie.
And also, why didn't he wish for his wife back? He does a whole thing about who's gonna look after my daughter. It's like, do you not have a wife? Do you not have any other family members? Was it just you guys? Can't you just wish for your whole family back? You fucking idiot! Like, you could wish back... If you can wish for all gods to die, surely you can wish back multiple people! I can't imagine it only works one way!
The Infinity is like, alright, like, Gore's like, all my family's dead. The Infinity's like, okay, so this man's gonna wish for his family. Gore just talks to us like, and I want all the gods dead. It's like, that works too! Bruh.
It's one of those movies where it feels like they had the ending in mind first, and they just had to work backwards towards it. And it's so lazy.
Mm-hmm.
And they queer-baited the hell out of everybody.
They did what to everybody? I'm sorry.
They made a whole thing earlier on when the movie was in development about how it was going to be there was going to be a subplot about Valkyrie finding her queen. You know what Valkyrie doesn't do in this movie?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah!
Wow. Yeah, that sucks. That would have been awesome.
Awful. Because she doesn't do anything.
No, she doesn't. Except troll. I mean, she trolls in ways that I would do if I was in her shoes. I'm not gonna lie. But otherwise, as far as from a storytelling standpoint, she really doesn't.
Also, Gore's right.
Mm-hmm.
Except for the Asgardians, every god we see in the movie is a jackass. And all the gods that are supposedly good guys that he's killed, we don't see. We only get Thor's word that one of them's a good guy, and this Thor's kind of an idiot, so I don't know if I trust him. So, like, there's no reason for... What's the reason to stop him? The only reason to stop him is Thor dies. Because it's like, he's right. All the gods are assholes, except Thor. There's no refutation of this. There is no point where it's pointed out that Gore is going too far in this quest. It's just like, oh yeah, man, they all suck, but, like, you don't gotta do this. Doesn't he?
Yeah, no. The only thing that happens with the gods is trying to get everyone together to be like, hey, he's trying to kill us. But there's still not it's never felt like at any point that there was an argument made for, besides the fact that Thor is a god, why we should be rooting for their survival.
You know what? You know the even nuttier thing?
Mm-hmm.
Gore the God Butcher is the bad guy, right?
Yes.
He wants to kill a bunch of gods.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole scene where Thor is beseeching a whole council of gods for help. Gore does not show up.
Yeah!
That would have been fucking perfect!
That would have been awesome, actually. I know they tried to kind of explain it by saying it's like, this is a secret location that only the gods know about. It's like, and during that whole time, it's like, okay, so Gore is going to show up, right? Like, because that's literally too perfect of an excuse. And it's like, no, never shows up. It's like, okay.
I mean, Russell Crowe's pretty good as Zeus.
Oh, that was Russell Crowe, wasn't it?
No, that was Russell Crowe.
Okay, alright.
Also, we got Brett Goldstein as Hercules in the post-credit scene.
Dude, I feel bad, but it is still very funny how I just instantly disappointed you after that.
Yeah, no. Because the main problem I have, it's funny. Usually the post-credit scenes are the bits that have me the most hyped walking out of a movie theater, because I'll be like, oh man, I can't wait for that. What does this mean? This could mean a number of things. This could mean this could mean that. And when I saw Hercules at the end of the first, of the mid-credit scene, my reaction was basically, oh, that's so cool. Oh my god, I can't wait. I can't wait to see them fuck it up like they did this one. Damn it. Because historically in the comics, Hercules is kind of a oaf and a bore and a goofball. He's more akin to what Thor is in the movies. So, my reckoning is, I feel like they're probably just going to have two of these goofballs running around. And when Greg pointed that out, my reaction was just an instant deflated, oh god damn it, you're right.
And it was one of the few times where I genuinely felt bad just laughing out loud, but your reaction killed me. I don't know, it's kind of one of those things where I think the angle would be that the two of them are enemies, but they just are trying to out-goofball each other, and it's a thing of like, yeah, this definitely won't get old anytime soon.
It got old in this one.
Well, now we have two of them.
Yeah.
Maybe. We'll see.
What do we think of Thor having a kid, functionally?
She is so adorable.
Yeah.
I remember us talking about, was it Fast and Furious 8 that had the rescuing the baby from a
Fate of the Furious was that one.
Yeah, and I completely understand your whole thing about how it's cheating, and I do kind of feel like it's cheating in this, but it's still, like, just adorable on its own. It doesn't give the movie points back, but it is cute as hell.
Yeah. I do hate that the apparently Love and Thunder thing was just a setup to this. You know what? I almost forgot. One thing I do really like about this movie, other than Jane Foster as Thor and the little bit of Christian Bale butchering gods that we got, the other thing that I really like about this movie, Thor temporarily empowering a bunch of kids with the Thor Force. That was
great.
That was some good fucking shit.
That was really great. I'd be lying if I said part of my brain didn't go, this is kind of stupid.
And child endangerment.
And mass child endangerment. It's like, this is really stupid, but it's also really fun, and I think the fun outweighs the stupid at this very moment.
That one little kid had fucking I-beams coming out of her bunny.
Yeah.
The stuff, I think she, just hugging the stuffed animal and it's just shooting I-beams. What a fucking... what a champ.
Shotgun Mjolnir was cool.
Yeah, that was neat.
That was pretty neat. I was just like, apply shotgun food to Mjolnir. We're good with that.
So, I think Jane's coming back.
I hope not.
Because she's currently a Valkyrie in the comics.
Does she go to Valhalla in the comics?
I think she died and then came back.
Okay. It would be something Marvel would do, but I really hope not, because she got a great ending, honestly. The whole thing of it's like, well, you're a god and you showed your power. Welcome to Valhalla. It's like, yes, this is actually a really good ending of this character.
Okay, no, you know what? Another nitpick time.
Hmm.
Thor makes a whole thing to Sif about how you have to die in battle in order to get into Valhalla. and apparently dying of your injuries after the fact doesn't count for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Jane dies to cancer, and she still gets in.
I think the thought process with that is that her, like, more or less sacrificing herself to beat Gore, and as such, greatly accelerating the cancer that kills her, is why she was able to get in Valhalla. I think that's kind of what they were trying to hint towards.
Yeah, but Sif dying of trying to save another god from who hasn't done anything from being butchered surely would count. If a battle with cancer gets you in, wouldn't a battle not to bleed out also get you in? Stupid fucking movie.
You would think so. But no, I genuinely hope they don't bring Jane Foster back. And not even because I didn't like Jane Foster in this. It's just because, no, this is fine. This is good. We can kind of park this character because she's kind of done everything now. Like,
this movie doesn't give a shit about fucking emotional stakes. It never did. Ragnarok didn't. Why the fuck? So, what does it matter? Thor comics, after Ragnarok, everybody comes back eventually. Just fucking do it. Clean slate this shit. Who gives a fuck?
Which is funny because I know I've had discussions with you how one of the things that does bother me about comic book anything, and I know it's like part of the course for it, is how few people who die stay dead.
Oh yeah, no, it's infuriating. But when it comes to creatures of mythology and legend and what have you, and magic, I think there's some wiggle room there.
Yeah, that's fair, but even still, from like kind of from the perspective of like a movie, since you have, relatively speaking, at least as far as I can see it, much more limited space to tell all of that, it is nice when someone you care about stays dead, because now it has if it's done well at least, it has a long-lasting effect that doesn't lose anything, kind of like what happened when Black Widow died. So I genuinely hope they don't bring her back, not because of any ill will, just because it's like, no, this is fine. We don't need more of her. We're good.
Does Gore have I-beams?
I don't know, does he?
His daughter has I-beams?
Didn't she get that after she was resurrected, though?
Yeah, I don't know, though, because, like, did he wish for her back with superpowers?
Doesn't the Infinity take the form of her daughter? Eternity, sorry, take the form of the daughter, though?
I don't know, it's ambiguous, but if that's the case, then she didn't really come back, and that means Gore wasted his wish and should have just wished for all gods to die anyway.
Yeah, that's... talk about a cheap purchase there.
God, this movie was disappointing.
Mm.
And I did not want to go into it wanting to hate it. I wanted to go in at least having a decent time.
Yeah, like, I went in thinking, like, okay, this is not gonna be anything fantastic. But, like, relatively speaking to other Marvel movies. Like, I don't think this is gonna be, like, something where it's, like, what would be kind of an equivalent movie?
I'm not expecting The Winter Soldier, and I'm not expecting Guardians Volume 2, but I was hoping for something better than possibly the worst thing I've ever seen in the MCU.
Yeah, just overall, like, just genuinely disappointing. And again, really weird how we agree on not liking it, and we agree on similar things, but for, I guess, slightly different reasons, because this, like, never happens.
I'm out of rants, I think.
Yeah, I don't have anything new to add to that. It's, I guess the conclusion more than anything is, can you have fun with it? Yes. Is it good? Absolutely not.
Nah, yeah. And if you actually, like Thor from the comics, you're probably not going to like this one.
No.
So I guess that about wraps this up, because since Nick isn't here and you haven't seen any Miss Marvel, I can't exactly talk about the back half of it still. I think I'm going to rework my approach to these Marvel Disney Plus shows. I'm not exactly sure how yet, but trying to do this week-by-week episode thing is just not panning out, partly due to when I chose to release these, because didn't think about they were going to come out functionally a week after the episode already did when the new episode's out. Anyways, gonna give it some thought. I'll come back to it. Fortunately, we got some time until She-Hulk comes out. If you got any ideas in the comments of how you want to see it tackled, well, let me know.
Yes, but until then, this has been, I don't know, I'm just going to do the ending. Can I do the ending? Am I allowed to do that?
Yeah. Take it away, Greg!
I am Greg.
And I'm Cody, aka the Scarlet Troll.
And this has been Under the Bridge. Like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Spotify. If you have any suggestions for us, leave them in the comments below. And otherwise, have a wonderful evening.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.
Good night.